All right, man. Good morning. Lucky number 13 today, Friday the 13th. So today's episode, customer service or the lack thereof. Um, I recently bought an appliance for one of our rentals. It was a Whirlpool wash machine. And we had it about 64 days, something like that. And it would literally start spinning out of control and walking across the floor. Couldn't see anything wrong with it. We thought, okay, well, maybe it's loaded wrong, but it would do it. It would even wobble with nothing in it. So we thought, okay, let's take us back to Menards. We haven't even had it, like I said, 60 some days. And we'll just get another one, we'll take this one back. Obviously, they're going to turn it into the manufacturer, and we're going to get a different one. Now, keep in mind that we buy a lot of appliances because we have a grounds maintenance company and a real estate company, and we manage about 60 some properties. So we're buying refrigerators, stoves, washers, dryers, furnaces. I mean, it happens, with that many properties. At some point in time, you have to replace stuff. So we take it in there. It's a Sunday. Okay. We go up front to customer service. The girl was very polite and told us to take that back to the manager in appliances. Well, I kind of thought when she did that, that's kind of weird. Why wouldn't they just kind of issue this right here at customer service? When I got back to, we got back to the appliance area, the manager was there, and she's actually the person that sold us the wash machine. But she didn't remember us. I get that. So we told her what was going on, and then we had it. We'd like to exchange it for a different one, or get the money back for that and buy a different one because we wasn't sure about that Whirlpool brand. And she said, "Oh, unfortunately, we can't do that." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't do that? It's just you guys would take it and send it back to the manufacturer." She's like, "No, you would call the manufacturer." I'm like, "Why the manufacturer?" I'm like, why would we call the manufacturer? Bought it here. And she said, "Well, we don't do that. That's something you have to do." Now, keep in mind, she didn't provide like a number that we would call, anything like that. She just said she couldn't do anything about it. And she said, "You should have been told that when you bought it, that if it breaks, that you would have to call the manufacturer." I said, "Nobody told us." And she said, "Well, they should have." And my son and I looked at her and said, "You sold it to us. You remember you sold it to us because you wanted us to get it out back." So if you're familiar with Menards, you buy stuff. A lot of times you go out back to pick it up. Lumber for sure. Appliances, it's not necessary. And we said that we would just take it on a cart and push it out the front because going out back is time consuming. Sometimes you wait in a line. The guy has to check and see your receipt and all that. It's just a waste of time. And receipt and all that, it's just a waste of time. And we don't like to waste time. So I said, "Well, I guess I'll go up front and I'll ask for the manager and see if we can work this out." And she said, "Well, I can call the store manager right now." So she gets the store manager and she runs over to him and wants to tell him the story prior to. Just really unprofessional. So the store manager comes right over there. He's already gotten the story. He doesn't need to hear our side. And he says, "Oh, unfortunately, we can't help you. You'll have to get a hold of the manufacturer." And I said, "Well, hold on now. You guys are selling all these appliances and you're saying you don't cover them at all? Like you don't do anything with them?" "Well, yeah, if it breaks within the first 7 days, then yeah, you could bring it back and get another one or get a refund." And I said, look, we have the receipt. It hasn't been 90 days. It's been 60 some days. Nothing, huh? And take care of an item that's just under $600, for your customer. So we buy a lot of appliances in here and cabinets, and I mean, just some piles of stuff. He's like, no, there's nothing we can do about it. And, and I will say, after he said that, and he had zero solutions. And again, those people didn't even say, here, call this number right here. And, they'll send out a repairman or whatever the case may be. They didn't have that sort of information. Didn't even bother providing it, presenting it, saying it's a possibility. They were just like, oh, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. You'll have to call the manufacturer. So I'm assuming that I would call or look on Google and get the Whirlpool manufacturer and go through that, probably talk to somebody in India that I can't understand. But people understand India that I can't understand. But people understand something. This is why these companies are they're throwaway companies. When they have big layoffs or they close stores, don't feel bad for them. They don't have customer service. They don't give a crap about you. They assume because of the size of their company that they're always going to be there. And that is not the case. The economy is not good right now, and customer service is imperative. If you have good customer service, you're going to stay in business. If you've got the right kind of product or service and your customer service is as good as it can be, you're going to be in business. But if it's not, you're gone. This store manager is essentially useless. If you can't take care of your customers, there's no point in having you, right? And his job could be replaced easily. He's just a number. He's not unique. And today, what should be common, which is treating your customers well, is not common, right? So he's not unique. He's a throwaway manager. He had no solutions. He didn't provide any solutions for the customer. Now, I will say that I had some really choice words for him when I left. And I'm not going back to Menards. And I haven't had these sort of issues at many other stores. If you look at other companies that are kind of like large, and they feel like, okay, well, I don't have to have good customer service. Duke Energy, there's one. Okay, they got a monopoly. Okay, they got no competition. They can do what they want. They can charge what they want, and they do. And that's a big issue, right? Currently, most of you, I've seen this a lot online, but I can tell you our electric bill has went up substantially. And we were actually gone a few weeks back. We were gone for 3 weeks from our residence, and we have an adjoining property. Okay. And the difference in the bill was $20. That's it. So we had one where there's people living there full time. Okay. It's a small farm. And then we have our place. We weren't even here. We had everything turned down to the minimum. We had a couple of lights on, one TV, and furnace, obviously, and that was turned down to 60. And there was only a $20 difference versus us living here, running water, having multiple lights on, multiple TVs, computers, you name it, washer, dryer running. So, the charges are BS. They're total BS. So I'm not unique to this situation. I know a lot of you are dealing with the same kind of stuff. And at some point we have to, we have consumer protections, but are they working? Sometimes, we've got the Better Business Bureau. Your state attorney general will address this, which I'm going to be filing something with the state attorney general. Now, you can't do that on every little thing, but when you got big ticket items and you're getting ripped off, That's what you need to do, because they have to answer to that. And that's really the only avenue, other than don't go there anymore. But when it comes to utility companies, there's really nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you could go get a generator, and I guess good luck with that. If you could do it cheaper, and if you can do it cheaper, hey, share it with all of us in the comments. Tell us how you've done it and how you've saved or eliminated a utility company, or cut your costs substantially. We'd all love to hear it, because we're all in the same boat when it comes to that. So another thing, here's something I want all of you to be aware of. If you've seen this company called Night Operators. Okay, Night Operators. It's on my Facebook feed and YouTube, obviously, because I had clicked on it. But their commercial is great. That they provide this super affordable night vision that's actually really good quality. And their commercial's awesome. And they puts a lot of confidence in ordering from them. And of course, I ordered it. I thought, wow, we're going to get a couple of these. My son and I, we can do some night hunting for predators. And so we ordered them, and I ordered that on December 2nd. And let's see what we're on, February 13th, Friday the 13th. And just a few days ago, I got my refund. Okay. Prior to that, I ordered it and I thought it was going to be here before Christmas. It's going to be great. Never came. So I'm tracking this thing, and I'm reading, and it says that it had fraudulent postage on it. And that was in Chicago. Okay. I'm in Indiana. And somehow it was delayed there for a little bit, and then it was shipped off to Washington State. I thought, why in the hell would they ship it to Washington State when our states are side by side? That doesn't make any sense at all. And I just kept watching the tracking, and then it said it was in transit. It was in transit for weeks, right? Well over a month. That was December 2nd. And I think it was the 12th or something when it left Chicago. And I thought, man, what is going on? And I kept contacting the Night Operators, and it appeared that the emails were like automated. Okay, well, thank you for your patience, blah, blah, blah. Basically said the same thing every time. And what I finally did, I realized, okay, it says this with the United States Postal Service. I was going to go file a claim with them, because I thought, it's in their hands. What are they doing with it? Why am I not getting it? But what I did prior to that is I contacted my bank, and I said, hey, I've never received this item. I need you guys to recoup the charges. And they actually did. They did do that. I was surprised. I didn't have to go through a lot of stuff for that. But I got a refund, and that actually worked. But I was very curious on the United States Postal Service, because it was in their system. And then for it to go from Illinois to Washington, when it should have went right to Indiana, once they supposedly corrected this postage issue, was really bizarre. So what I started doing is I was checking all the comments on that night operators on Facebook, and there was lots of other guys saying the same thing. Some had received their product, but it only had like one side of the night vision, or there was a bracket broken. So I don't know what's going on with that company, but stay away. It's a total scam. And another guy on there had the exact same thing that I had. It said the same thing, fraudulent postage, and that it was in transit. But then the USPS told him that he would have to contact his bank or his credit card company to recover the money, which again, I find that bizarre, because if the USPS has it in their possession, why didn't they deliver it? Because they didn't just like, this is fraudulent, and then hold on to it. They shipped it and they had it as in transit. So it's very odd to me. If you guys have any guesses on why that would be, please share and comment. But some of the other companies was Hertz. So Hertz rental cars, they had booked cars, lots of people. And the people go there to get the car, and a lot of times they're at airports. Okay. They go there to get the cars. There's literally no inventory. I mean, what the hell's going on here, man? This isn't rocket science. This is like, that's your business. You can't even get it right. There's another company called Pearson VUE. Okay. So they handle a lot of educational stuff. We've used them for real estate licensing. So they schedule the testing, they provide some of the materials, right? Well, in recent years, it's really changed. You can't get a hold of somebody directly, and it's very difficult to get a hold of somebody in this country. The communication barrier is substantial. So we had somebody, we were getting licensed, and they went to take the test, and there was a discrepancy on the ID. So we had to go reschedule. So we rescheduled, and then every time you do this, you pay. You pay for the testing, but if you don't take the test, you don't pay for the test. So we were told, oh yeah, you won't have to pay for the test. You will just reschedule it. Well, when we go to reschedule it, we got to pay for the damn test again, because we're talking to somebody in India, and they have no authority to do anything, or they're not smart enough to do anything. I'm not sure what's going on here, but then we paid again just to get this damn test done, and still haven't gotten a refund for the other one. So we're going to have to figure out that. I mean, I can't believe that customer service is this bad. And it just feels like the last year or so, it's just gotten horrible. It's been slipping for years. Really accelerated, or we're just into a bad, I don't know what you'd call it. A lot of bad events as far as like customer service goes. It's pretty insane. And then when the second part of the test needed to be done, it landed on a day where they weren't providing testing, but whenever you pass this real estate test, you've got like the year to do it, and it just happened to land on a day, the end of the year. It landed on a day where they didn't provide testing. But they won't extend that. You can't like take it the next day. So now guess what? The girl can't take the test. So you would literally have to do the entire course again, which is 90 hours. And yeah, it could have been done prior to that. But in the process, she had a baby and all that. And so and yeah, it could have been done prior to that, but in the process, she had a baby and all that, and so it kind of slowed everything down. I'm just saying, we're not utilizing our gray matter and common sense at so many levels. It's really crazy. It's embarrassing, really, of how dumb our society has become. It's just absolutely embarrassing. How dumb the United States has become. We can't even pull off simple things like customer service, and understanding that customer service might be our lifeblood, especially in a bad economy. So, I'd be interested in hearing what you guys have maybe ran into. And I also want to reiterate, there are some solutions on big ticket items, but when it's a small thing, right? Just don't go there anymore, right? Stop giving them money. When it's a big ticket item and you've definitely been ripped off, you can go to your state attorney general's office. There's usually your state attorney general's office. There's usually in our state anyways, you can go online, fill out a consumer complaint, and they will follow up on it. I mean, they're kind of, it could kind of be a real pain in the butt, man. They'll just really, they'll stay on it. They want answers from the person who potentially ripped off a consumer. And then you've always got the Better Business Bureau. So you could actually do both of those things simultaneously and rate them and tell them, how you were treated, the amount of money that you lost out on, and that they didn't have any solutions. And a lot of times they will end up coming back and refunding you or trying to come up with a solution. because they don't want that bad rating, or they don't want the AG, the Attorney General, to continue to contact them because they want answers. So that's all for the day. Again, hey guys, like and subscribe and share your story. And if you have any solutions, that would be great as well. Happy Friday. Hey guys, like and subscribe and share your story. And if you have any solutions, that would be great as well. Happy Friday the 13th. I think it's probably a lucky day.